The 5 men walked cautiously between the trees. Their faces were grim, their steps slow. It had taken them 3 days to get back to the village after defeating the muaj, the spirit monkey, but they had made it home safely. They should have been celebrating, yet no joyous laughter echoed through the trees. Instead, a deep unease settled over the men. It started subtly. Chickens crowed at midnight, dogs barked furiously at shadows. Then children began crying in their sleep, their tiny voices whispering of dark things. The village elders, their faces etched with worry, held an emergency meeting. After much discussion, they reached a somber conclusion. The muaj wasn't the only spirit dwelling in the dark valley. Its master, the lord of the dark valley, Vajnetz's Rubsaz, had sensed the death of his servant and was furious. That evening, the sky grew dark and the wind moaned like a lost soul. When the moon hid behind heavy clouds, Neng, the leader of the 5 men, felt a heavy presence pressing down on his house. He knew what he had to do. Clutching his shaman's staff, he opened his ritual basket and whispered urgently, "The master of the valley has come. I must go to him." 4 men, the bravest of his friends, joined him, and together they walked back to the dark valley. They moved in near silence, their eyes darting around nervously. Even the crickets seemed to have fallen silent. The air grew colder as they approached the center of the valley. There, looming before them, stood a massive ancient tree, its gnarled roots twisted like giant serpents, and at their feet lay bones deer, boar, even human skulls and femurs. Neng felt a chill crawl up his spine. Then, from the tree's shadow, a dark shape emerged. Half man, half beast, it towered over them, its eyes burning like hot coals. The spirit roared, its voice shaking the very earth. "Who dares challenge me? You have slain my servant, the muaj, and now I shall take your lives." The 4 men fell to their knees, their faces ashen with terror, but Neng stood firm, his gaze locked on to the spirit. "You are lord of this land," he called out, his voice ringing with power, "but you have broken the balance. You torment the people and take lives without cause. Tonight, I end your reign." And so the battle began. The spirit unleashed the fury of the valley. Storms raged, lightning cracked, and the terrified cries of 1,000 beasts echoed through the trees. But Neng fought back, drawing strength from his ancestors. With a steady hand, he lit his ritual candles, their flames dancing defiantly against the encroaching darkness. He placed a wax ox and a wax tiger into his basket, and with a powerful chant, he brought them to life. The waxen beasts, imbued with the spirits of his ancestors, became living spirit beasts, powerful and fierce. They attacked the shadow beast, the wax tiger pouncing on it while the wax ox rammed into its chest. The spirit screamed as it was torn between the 2 spirit beasts. Twisting and turning, it took on different forms, first a giant snake, then a bloodthirsty wolf, and finally a black whirlwind, each more terrifying than the last. But Neng didn't falter. His voice, hoarse but resolute, continued to rise above the chaos, growing louder, stronger with each passing moment. And then suddenly, the shadow burst. It writhed and twisted, then finally shattered like smoke in the wind. The valley grew silent, the only sound the soft glow of the ritual candles. When Neng opened his basket, the bones at their feet were gone. The land was cleansed. He turned to the others, his face pale with exhaustion and triumph. "We have won," he said softly, but his voice held a note of warning. "Remember, the forest has eyes, and spirits always demand respect. Never again bring harm without cause, or more powerful ones will come." And so the 5 men returned home, humbled and forever changed by their experience. They taught their children and grandchildren about the battle, ensuring that the memory of the Dark Valley's wrath would serve as a reminder for generations to come.